Right, hello everybody. This is the here I am. This is the third in the pandemic series of ukulele learning, and thanks for everybody for your feedback. This rough and ready video is intended to support the Redline and Asda Club information sheets. It's not really standalone. After a quick recap, I'll give you some more guitar-derived moves adapted from the ukulele based on 12-bar blues. I'll show you various embellishments that can be used for improvisation, and all the while we'll be sticking to pseudo chords rather than single note picking. In the second half, by way of a change, we'll do some strumming, and I'm going to try and teach you scissors. And I've included the music for Ain't She Sweet as something you can practice this against, and also I've given you a link to George Harrison on YouTube doing his version of this, so have a look at all that. But do practice this stuff. Now's your chance while we're all confined to quarters. So first of all, I'm going to reinforce the 12-bar blues, which is I'll do the augmentations we learned before. So that's C with A minor over the top, F with D minor over the top, and G with E minor over the top. And also we did C, played there, or with 3 fingers like that, and slides. And we did the turnaround. Right, so let's do 12-bar blues to reinforce the 12-bar blues format. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just a recap. Now, I just want to say a bit more about sliding chords, because I've had a few queries on this. So basically, the sliding chord that you need to concentrate on is C, played here. So that finger, that's the first finger on the 3rd fret on strings 1 and 2. Second finger, 3rd string, 4th fret. I mean, the basic shape is B flat played here. So we start on the upstroke. Yeah. So, but also in the turnaround, which I taught you, there's this. That slide there is quite a useful thing, so that's worth practicing as well. And you can do it the other way. Do that again. So those are slides based around G7. Okay, so that's just really a recap, but to emphasize that in the turnaround, this G7 can be used as a slide. So G7 slide. You can make those up yourself. Right, now we're going to introduce some alternate notes, which I've tried to put into the notes that I sent out, but it's quite difficult to follow. But it's really a simple augmentation of what we've done already. So for C with A minor over the top, instead of going, we're now going to go. We bring in another finger into play here. So these fingers are going there. And when we go to F, we're going to do something similar. Back to C. I can do it in G. I haven't put that in the notes because it's quite difficult, but for those of you who can stretch to it, it's the E minor and the note above. Notice I'm having to slide the whole chord up to reach it. So, simple enough. It's often played at a different tempo, like, I don't know, hang on. A bit of a balls up, but I think you can get the idea. So that's something you need to practice, but also again in the notes you'll see that I've set out some 4 alternate notes that you can hit, usually over the top of C, but also over the top of F. So these are the 4 notes. Obviously they can be interspersed by open notes. So we can go. Now, this is quite difficult to teach because there's no set pattern. We're not trying to teach you something rigid here. We're trying to teach you to use these notes. You'll notice rather than going like the original riff, I'm starting to go backwards. That might, you can do that any old time you like, but it does crop up in some well-known pop songs like What if you ever plan to motor west? Just take my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Here's your kicks on the route 66. Right, another cock up, but you get the idea. Do it backwards. So these 4 notes. that's something you've really got to have a practice at. So these 4 notes, see I'm playing, notice I'm playing them alternately, and on the upstroke as well. So start on the upstroke. So that's the vanilla way of doing it. And you can play these 2 against the F. And tail 4 against the C. And you can start to fiddle about with the timing, like you can go. Right. Yes. Don't forget, we've done the sliding C chords. Now we can do it with G or G7. You can also use it to replace bars 9 and 10 in the 12-bar blues. So in the 12-bar blues, instead of going I'll put that in a complete 12 bar so you get the idea. Here we go. Right, we'll go on with this, but the trick here is improvisation with these 4 notes. So start by getting the simple ones going, as we did before. Then get the 4 notes going. Right, this is exhausting. Not used to all this sunshine. Right, strumming. Right, last time we did a sort of reggae strum, didn't we? We went. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. So we did that. Now we're going to do, and that was kind of a muted, dampened strumming pattern. Now we're going to do Ain't She Sweet. We're going to learn to do scissors. Obviously the main exponent of this is George Formby, but we're not George Formby fans, but nevertheless it's very useful. I've given you a chord sheet for Ain't She Sweet. There's also a link to George Harrison playing it. The music I've given you, unfortunately I noticed at the last minute it's got an error in it. It shows the G diminished chord instead of like that, it shows it to be that, which is completely in error. This note is not required, it's simply those two strings there. So you play a G7th and you move your hand down one fret. So what we're trying to do, I'll play it in the vanilla flavour first. We're trying to go, ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. Except we're going to do scissors. I'm just going over the chords to make sure you don't look at the chords and see something that's called G diminished and think, what the hell is that? Although I don't know why it's called G diminished, because if that's G7th, that must be F sharp 7th, mustn't it? Anyway, not to worry, it's now this scissors, it's played with that finger and your thumb. Okay, and it's finger followed by thumb followed by up and down with your finger, so it's finger followed by thumb and up and down with your finger. It sounds very simple. Finger followed by thumb and up and down with your finger. Because obviously if you can do this at warp speed you get, but it takes a long time to get to that speed. This is something you need to practice quietly. Just need to be able to get that finger followed by thumb in one stroke. You're not going, in one sweep. You need to do it very, very slowly. If I stand up, it'll be a bit better. So we're trying to do Ain't She Sweet in this sort of fashion, and people do this different ways, but here we go. Well, ain't she sweet? See you walking down the street. Well, aren't you very complimentary? Ain't she sweet? Ain't she bright? Don't kiss her once or twice. You can see I'm not playing this from the music, but so this is this can be maddening to try and learn this, and it's quite a difficult strumming pattern. But I almost never see anybody able to do this in other ukulele groups. If you can get to grips with this, you'll be my hero, or my heroine indeed. So here we go. Right. First finger followed by thumb, followed by first finger up and down. You can do it very slowly, and you will have to do it very slowly. So there are lots of different places you could use this other than in a George Formby song or Ain't She Sweet, and I won't bore you with many of them, but one thing I've found useful is to treat it as an end stop. So if you're playing away like mad, you would normally end by going, but once you've mastered this you can go, which gives you a good embellishment to end something on, which makes it more powerful. But anyway, got to learn the basics. So if you can just master that and these three little chords, so, and you can just master it slowly. I think that's probably what we can do for today. I've tried to keep that scissors as simple as possible because it's quite difficult and we need to come back to that. It is worth mastering. It can be used in lots of places, not just in leaning on the lamppost. And we'll come back to them again and again. So bye for now, and I hope you're all keeping well and you haven't got right to the back of the cupboard yet, you know, to that packet of biscuits that you never really liked, but now you're going to have to eat. So good luck to you all, and have a look at the material that I've sent you. Thanks a lot.